Dope. What's going on, guys? It's Shix here, back again. Well, not back again. This is the first video, sketchbook tour. We're going to start off with a sketchbook tour, 2023 to 2024. The drawings in this video, or in the sketchbook at least, are of varying degree of quality. But before we get into the sketchbook tour, I just wanted to say that this is my second channel. This channel is going to be more for just like hanging out with a friend, like you're at a coffee shop, right? Like we're just going to be sitting and talking. Sometimes it'll be a sketchbook tour. Sometimes it'll just be me talking about a movie I like or a game that I'm into or just whatever, you know, just a place for me to ramble. And most of it will be art related most of the time, but sometimes it won't be. It's just a place for me to just basically just have shower thoughts, but on the internet. And then my other channel is where more of my like finished things will be, like my animations or storyboards, or, you know, more high concept story type things that go on that are in my mind constantly, and I just need to get them out. So that'll be over there on that channel. So yeah, I thought that I would do a sketchbook tour, make it lo-fi. This channel's pretty lo-fi here, low effort, not a lot of editing. So we're gonna get into this. This sketchbook how many sketchbooks ago did I finish this one? I want to say this is 3 sketchbooks ago. So the art in here isn't the same type of art that I do now. At least the style, like I'm much better now than I did here, but this is where I think I really started to get better as an artist. Like my other sketchbooks before this are really bad, and I'm a little bit too embarrassed to show those. But we'll start with this one, and then we'll go on to the next ones as time goes on, as the more I do this channel. But I'm already a minute in, and we got small attention spans, so let me just go ahead and start. I'm gonna cover that part up because that is I probably should have. That's got my number on it, so we're gonna just not talk about that. But it's basically a message saying, like, you know, what's a sketchbook for? Well, sketches, obviously. Wrong. A sketchbook is a wonderful tool for artists like myself. For sketchbook is a place of experimentation, exploration, and expression, which I agree. So my goal with the sketchbook was to just find myself, find my voice, and to cut loose. And I think I did that for the most part. You know, God gave me the talent, so let's not waste it. And that's, you know, part of the reason why I'm making this video is I've delayed making videos. I've delayed just putting myself out there for multiple reasons, but depression and feeling like I'm not enough is one of them. But it's not me to decide, it's for the people to decide whether they like my stuff or not, right? So the very first page, we got persistence trumps all. And I got a picture of a guy staring very determinedly. Also, I got this sketchbook at Walmart, and the pages are like oddly yellow. I don't think you can see it on the video, but the pages are oddly yellow now, and it's kind of weird, but I kind of like it. It looks kind of cool. These were with microns. I think they were, I want to say the 0.1 because that's what I use a lot, but they were like, I don't know. I had no control over the micron at this time. Just terrible hatching. Like, what is that? But yeah, I'm a big fan of Frank Miller, so I try to copy like his boxy rectangular eyes. I've got it much better now. If you go to the Instagram, you can see the way I do eyes is totally different from that, but that's how I did it back in 2023. And then I have a list of guys that are like my main inspirations. Well, they were at the time. Some of these guys are still pretty big to me, like Ryan Otley. I had him down there for expression. If you don't know who Ryan Otley is, he's most people know, but he's the main artist on Invincible. Corey Walker started it, but Ryan Otley's the one that everybody knows. Sean Gordon Murphy, underrated artist. I don't think a lot of people talk about him, but he's great with inks and gesture. Lee Bermejo, not as much anymore. Barry Windsor-Smith is still a big inspiration for me. Frank Miller, a big inspiration. Jorge Horikoshi, big inspiration. Fujimoto, still pretty big. Mike Mignola is still pretty big. Mike Mignola, you see it a lot in my newer stuff. Daniel Warren Johnson, still trying to figure out how to incorporate what I like about Daniel Warren Johnson and James Herron in my work. But I know that I like them. I just haven't incorporated them yet. Takahiko Inoue, same thing. Mobius more for like the ideas, and I just think he's just an incredible artist. But yeah, I remember doing this one at my family desk. I was looking at a reference picture, and I think it was on Pinterest, but I rarely use Pinterest nowadays. It's so scuffed, dude. And Pinterest is so bad now. But yeah, I was doing a reference photo for something. I liked it at the time. It's so bad now. Like, I tried to use whiteout for like the camera flashes. It's so bad, dude. But that's what a sketchbook is for, man. It's just to like learn and get better. And then yeah, it just bled through the page, so I didn't do anything here. So this is something that I focused on a lot more recently, is my landscaping and like just perspective work was so bad at this time. As you can tell, like I'm much better at it now. I'm not perfect, but I'm much better at it now. Like if you go on my Instagram, you'll see like so much better now, because but like, so at the time I was just like, I really need to work on it. And another reason, like, this is the thing with like progression as an artist, is like you won't progress as much if you're not interested in what you're drawing. And for me, like even now to this day, I still find just drawing like landscapes and like environments really boring, to be honest with you. So it's finding what I find interesting in that to make it exciting for me. And I've kind of started doing that now. It's like, okay, what do I find interesting, and how can I... So sometimes I like skew the buildings to make them more interesting to draw or something like that. But as you can tell, this is awful. Just terrible. Like, what is the perspective on this, bro? Like, what are we doing here, man? You can't even tell that there's a person sitting on the chair. Just terrible line weight. Everything is so bad. We're gonna get off this page. So these were like some unfinished pencil drawings. I just remember just sitting at work really bored one day, and that's how I was feeling like a captain on a stowaway ship, just like, all right, just wading through the water, like nothing to do. So a lot of, you also know, the more sketchbooks you see from me guys, and the more drawings you see, a lot of the time I use drawing as an outlet to just get out how I'm feeling. And it's this isn't good, but I draw this pose a lot in a lot of my work, in a lot of my sketches, like just this guy who's just like bored. Like, I draw this a lot. I remember liking that at the time. I didn't finish it, but obviously, but I do Superman with Superboy. Yeah, the Superman's so skinny here. I actually like the idea of a skinny Superman though. I kind of draw him skinny now because he doesn't have to be muscular to be Superman, because his power all comes from the sun. So he doesn't really need to be a muscular dude. Like, he could be skinny as a twig and still be Superman, because his power comes from the sun. But anyway, it's me trying to give an excuse for my terrible drawing of Superman here. But even nowadays, I still draw like a relatively skinny Superman, just because I like that idea of Superman. Actually, I think I have a picture of like a more recent Superman. It was like a couple months ago, but hold on, let me get that. Yeah, here's a drawing of a more recent Superman in my more recent sketchbook, where I was just kind of like throwing lines down just for fun, just to warm up. And so I still draw like the skinny Superman, but yeah. Anyway, let's move past that. Holy chin of doom, dude! Oh my god. I remember drawing this. This was also at work. I was feeling very annoyed. Working customer service is not fun for me. I don't enjoy it, but so as you can tell, I was pretty annoyed. So I drew a guy that was pretty annoyed in the rain, just getting pelted constantly. Terrible upshot of Spider-Man. Really bad, really bad. Ballpoint pen drawing at work. I like the idea here that I was going for here, but really bad. Still really bad. Like I said, guys, I've improved so much in 2 years, but which is weird as artists, is like we tend to draw the same things over and over again, even when we get better. I still draw like a knight all the time. I still draw Superman, I still draw Spider-Man, I still draw like that, like I said, the guy sitting at the... I still do that nowadays. It's just something that comes naturally for me. And I was practicing like lines and how to make different lines feel a certain way for emotion, stuff like that. Really bad drawn skull. I think I was doing some studies at the time of, it looks like Arthur Adams. Pretty sure that's Arthur Adams. Yeah, trying to do more perspective, more like just environmental drawings. I promise you the sketchbook gets a little bit better. Doesn't get great, because I've bounced around sketchbooks a lot. So a lot of my improvement you won't see like thoroughly throughout the sketchbook. But you see it a little bit towards the end. But anyway, this is an idea for, so you're starting to see some OCs here. This is an idea I have for a comic book of mine that I want to do that I will do one day. So it's the main character. That is the Durotagonist, both Durotagonists. And these three characters are very important. She's a vampire. And these two guys are private investigators. And that's all I will say on that until I start doing more work for it. But I love these characters. I've been writing them since 2022. I have a lot of stuff on them. And they're all me at the end of the day. They're all different aspects of my personality. You know, he's really trying to find his place in the world, but he's also got a lot of hope. He's just over it and just depressed all the time. And she is an outcast, still trying to find the good in people and trying to find her place in the world. And so I love these characters, and they mean a lot to me. And you guys will meet more of them eventually. These are nothing pages. That's what happens in sketchbooks, man. Like, especially when you don't think you're going to show it to anybody. Sometimes you just get nothing pages. I remember drawing this one for fun. I'll do these, like, really goofy characters every now and then. And just these goofy scenarios. It says, Daddy, what's with the funny briefcase? I thought it was funny. Like, what's in the briefcase? Probably just a banana or something. I remember my father telling me this pretty cool, funny story about a guy he knew that would carry a banana in a briefcase. So I think I was channeling that there. Pretty sure that's what I was channeling. Another nothing page. Nothing pages, dude. Like, Jesus. More just trying to figure out body proportions. Terrible, though. Very bad. We're gonna just skip through all the boring stuff. And that's what happens, you know. Sometimes you'll just be drawing, dude, and like just trying to figure stuff out. Like a lot of sketchbooks. That's what a sketchbook is for me. It's just like trying to figure stuff out, figure out character designs, figure out proportions, figure out anatomy, line techniques, and stuff like that. And then I was just honestly just trying not to be precious about it. This is a idea for like the comic that I just showed you, like the characters. There's like the ability, so I was like laying out like how the ability would work in panel flow and stuff like that. And I will do something with that eventually. Some more characters from the comic. Just coming up with like you know, the general tone that I'm you know, just like I said, this is back in 2023, so just trying to come up with a tone and everything, and the flow of, you know, how the characters are gonna feel in the comic. And you know, I've kind of got it down now. Drew this at my ex-girlfriend's house. Still remember that day. She was making chili, and I was sitting there drawing this. It's not good, but hey. See, like, bro, what? Yeah, I even said it at the time, like, too long. So a lot of art is just trial and error. This is Johnny from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 7. God. Steel Ball Run, yeah. It's Johnny. I believe it's Johnny. Yeah, I believe it's Johnny. It's been a minute since I read it, but I'm pretty sure that's Johnny in the new universe. Gone. Pariston. Krapika's Hand. Was just looking at the manga for a little bit for Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, a lot of these pages right now are really boring. It gets a little bit decent later. I'm a big fan of Araki too, so I was looking at a lot of JoJo's and just figuring out. And I can tell that when I was doing these studies, if you look at my art now, a lot of what I was doing in these studies at the time are in my art now. Like, you know, the blocked out nose, you know, the hatching, the full lips. I think every character I draw has full lips now. So that's what, you know, make sure you practice. You might not see it immediately the day after when you do it, but a couple years later, a few months later, what you study, what you practice will show up in your artwork later. And I'm a testament to that. It's me just practicing some posing, figuring out, like, from imagination, like, how to do it. More studies, you know, just figuring out how to get better at hands. I'm still not great at hands. They're so complex, like, the way they move and everything like that. It's just, it's a lot. It is a lot. You know, a lot of my sketchbooks are like this, where it's just me figuring out, you know, posing, gesture. And then, you know, you'll get, like, things like this. I'm actually still a big fan of that hand that I drew, because it's not from any reference or anything. It's just me just drawing with ballpoint pen, like no pencil or anything. These are Sean Gordon Murphy studies from Tokyo Ghost. These are all, I think, from Imagination. I don't remember. I know that's from Imagination. This is from Imagination. I think these might be references or something like that. These are all references because Sean Gordon Murphy. More Sean Gordon Murphy. Figured out how I want to, you know, I used to do the box method. Now I just use the bean, and it just works for my brain a lot better when it comes to, like, drawing humans. I just use the bean method. A little medieval stuff here. I draw that a lot too. A lot of knights, a lot of medieval stuff, dragons. This is a really bad dragon though, but good lord, this sketchbook is so bad. More character concept, coming up with, like, a devilish kind of character. Still haven't gotten this character down pat on how I want him to look. He's supposed to be like Satan pretty much, but I want him to look like good. I want him to, you know, somebody that you wouldn't assume is, you know, the devil. Haven't gotten that down yet. Still working on that. Just with my ex-girlfriend, I was just kind of you know, just drawing scenarios with her. Little style exploration, trying to push for proportions and see what I could do with a pointy nose and, you know, different kind of eyes and, you know, trying textures here and there. Because that's what it's for, you know, that's what the sketchbook is for. So, you know, you just kind of just do that. Bro looks like he's holding in the world's longest shit, though. So, I felt that, though, bro. The Taco Bell be killing. This is for another idea that I have that I'm actually currently working on right now. It's a horror story, like a cosmic horror story. And yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about that because you guys will probably see that a little bit more on my Instagram. I'll start posting about that soon. This is, you know, a little personal, but this was after me and my ex broke up, and took me a little bit to get over that. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, still not 100% over that even 2 years later, but you know, life be lifing. So you know, you just kind of gotta move on and you know, hope for the best. Don't hold any grudges or anything like that, right? So that's my way of dealing with it. You know, just draw. So more just BS. Like, just I'm gonna skip past all the boring stuff. I was at work, so I right here, just drawing my environment at work and trying to get better at it. And like I said, a lot of these things at the time suck, but I can tell now that the practice that I put in for these things is worth it, because I'm a lot better at doing this. I'm a lot better at just drawing environments, and even all these, like, as bad as they look, like, I'm so much better now with doing these things than I was back then. So for all the artists that are struggling right now or just dealing with, you know, getting better at drawing, keep at it, keep studying, keep practicing. You might not feel the fruits now, but you know, when you plant a garden, it doesn't grow the same day. You know, it grows in a season. So yeah. Holy forehead doom, dude. Oh my, just insane noggin. I was at Waffle House, so I was just drawing the environment. You know, and what's great about the sketchbook is it's so small I can carry it with me. So that's what I would use it for at the time. practicing perspective. It's really bad, but, you know. I think I was looking at Kishimoto drawing. And then I was looking at some stuff, like some faces on Pinterest. RIP Pinterest, dude. RIP Pinterest. I think I was very frustrated this day, and I just kind of went to town. All right, these pages are pretty boring. I was on a call. I remember this day. I was on a Zoom call, and I was just like, dude, this is so boring. So I just kind of like drew like how I was feeling on the Zoom call. Then I was really hungry, so I was like, dude, I want a taco. I just drew a guy wanted to eat a taco, I guess. And some more faces. As you can tell, like, as the sketchbook's going on, like, I'm getting a little bit more decent at making things that don't look horrible in this sketchbook. As I say that, here's a Batman who looks like a midget. Good lord. Oh yeah, this one. This page was actually pretty cool. I remember doing this one and liking it a lot. Just trying to, you know, life. Coming up with this idea of like a person who was like the bringer of life. So flowers and everything's growing around him. He's got the orb of humanity right there, and you know, another just drawing, just coming up with stuff. I drew this right before I went to work. Some more Terry stuff. Coming up with like who he feels like as a character. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was hanging out with some friends and I was just doodling. Kind of looks like, is it Eggman from Sonic? I'm not a big Sonic fan, so I couldn't tell you. Still going through the breakup, so, you know, yeah, being all sad and depressed. I actually really like this one. Hope I can get it all in frame. But it's Machine Made Man. It's like a human, organic, and then like a man-made machine. And then it's like a hand of like a robot, you know. Don't know, I like drawing robots and stuff like that, so I did that in my spare time. And we're back to the coming up with poses and getting back. Yeah, there's just some drawings in here that are just like, what are we doing here? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like, some of these things are just so bad, man. So bad. Perspective. Drawing my coffee cup. And I'm like trying to get the rendering right on it. Man, there's a lot of things in here that are just like, yeah, drawing my water glass, my lamp. I'm like trying to render it properly. Here's another Batman. I draw Batman when I don't know what to draw, so I just draw Batman, which is so fun. Like, I'm gonna put it, I said this was gonna be low editing, but I'm gonna throw a Batman up here that I've drawn recently just to show how the improvement in 2 years. But that's so funny. Yeah, more of that. I didn't go through the sketchbook before I opened it. I just put the sketchbook out and I was like, oh, we're just gonna do a sketchbook tour. I need to make a video. So, but I didn't know that there was like this many studies in here, and just like me, like drawing trees. Here's me being depressing. It says I was going to write a poem about trees and how no one notices trees until they're cut down. I was going to relate that to me and my struggles, but that's really fucking stupid. Which it is, bro. It is, man. It is. I remember liking this one a lot. I remember saying I was going to come back to it and finish it. Clearly, I did not. But I did remember liking it. I think I like what was going on in my head was like a bomb went off. And like people are running, and then like the guy here, the center of the drawing, was like noticing it last second. I might do something with that later, like that concept. Drawing some wizard dude. God, So awkward. So awkward. This is a study from work. I was just, drawing a coworker. More studies. More. Is this? Oh, yeah, this is just like me talking about if my work isn't relatable. This day, I remember this. Just getting heckled by customers all day. I think I was just having a bad morning too. And I was just over it. And this is what I draw. It's like me just over it. And I had like the bird's nest in there. And I was like, all right, let me just hatch the heck out of that. Still like that one. And then I intentionally didn't finish the bottom part just to give the focus to the front of to the face. Still like that one, actually. Still like that one. Of my old style. Still like that one a lot. I'm a Christian, so, every now and then I'll write little mementos to myself to just keep me going a lot. I was watching House of the Dragon Season 2 and just drawing what I saw. This is the scene with the dragons in the dungeon. If you know, you know. I was very disappointed in Season 2, though. Not going to lie. Season 1 was great. Season 2, man. They had my boy Damon in a castle the whole season, and it was, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, practicing. Like I said, draw a lot of medieval stuff, so I had like a guy in a... It's so bad, bro. So bad, though. Here's like some more king stuff, and I draw like a guy with a crown all the time, and he's supposed to really like just be me pretty much, and just like how I feel a lot of time, and just going through a time in my life, and kind of feel that way now, where it's like, man, like, I don't know what's going on in the world. The economy sucks. Pretty sure our president hates us. And, being in your mid-20s, it's really, really the time where it's like, I don't know what my purpose is in this world. And so kind of feel like that, but you got to pick yourself up even when you don't want to, and just fight on, I guess, man. So whenever I'm feeling like that, I come to this character and I just kind of draw him. He's kind of like my, I can't remember, my avatar, I guess, in a way. So yeah. Dude. I don't know. I have no clue, bro. I have no clue. Pose of Doom? Like, dude, what's going on? Like, he looks like... Yeah, that's really bad. That's really bad. Uncanny Valley as characters. More Knights. I have a similar design of this that I have finished. I might put that up on the screen if I can find it. More Christian stuff. Like I said, right, my mementos to myself. This I remember being perspective practice. Yeah, like I was trying to do like what's it called when you have something really close and really far? I think it's God. What is it called? It's like, I can't find the word, but it's like when something is, God, what is, not atmospheric perspective. Pretty much when something's really close and then you get it really far, but I wasn't doing anything with like perspective lines or anything. I was just using the size of the drawings to like, I didn't really do a good job of it anyway, so I'm going to stop trying to explain there. Here's a concept design for like the medieval story that I want to do one day. Is like, they got the battle armor of the king, so he like goes into this like really big chunky, I like drawing really chunky things. This sketchbook doesn't show that, but I like drawing things with really big proportions and playing with that. So yeah, had fun with that. Then drew like this weird dinosaur creature thing that guards the castle. I have a lot of ideas. So that's another thing that I use sketchbooks for, just to throw them out on the page and then I'll develop them later. This is one that I'm definitely going to come back to at some point once I finish my other story. But I got to finish that story first. Just doing more perspective practice. It's really bad, but hey, we got to get somewhere. I was waiting for my sister to finish piano practice, or we were going to my sister's piano recital, and I was waiting in the car before it started, and I was just drawing this. like soldiers fighting bug aliens, and then I have like the silhouette of the alien on the wall, and then the reflection of the soldier in his eye. I like drawing aliens a lot too, so this was fun. I didn't pencil this or anything. This was all like me just using a micron. So I actually was pretty proud of that one when I drew it. Yeah. Might do a short story on that one day. Perspective practice of me outside work. Yeah. This is Dylan and... Terry and Tara, the characters I showed you guys earlier. They don't look like that anymore, though. I actually still really like this drawing, dude. I actually do. I think I nailed what I was going for. And I'm probably going to finish that one day. Or redraw it and finish it. Just coming up with a concept for something. I was coming up with like facial expressions for the kid character. Some of them are insanely scuffed, like this whole page, but that's what it's for. But God, it's so bad, dude. Like, child proportions are so hard, by the way. Like, oh my God. Alright, let's get that. I was at the lake with a buddy. Good time. I didn't capture it well, but yeah. Then coming up with the characters in that story of like what they would look like. I can do this so much better now, and I might do that just to see the improvement. But at the time, I remember really being proud of that. And like, she's like a creature of the guard of the woods, and so she makes up all like the tree bark is her torso. Her hair is a crown of flowers, and then her wings are, you know, trees and grass and all that stuff. And then like you garden gnome and tree man and owls and a fairy. Yeah, a bit more design on the tree man. I actually really had fun drawing that guy. It was really fun. Just more Christian stuff. Yeah. Helps a lot. This was fun, man. I remember drawing Cyclops, and like I said, towards the very end of the sketchbook, I started feeling a little bit more comfortable in my style. I started like experimenting. So I just wanted to do. I finished watching the X-Men series, so this was like middle of 2024, I believe, and I had to finish watching the X-Men series, and I was like, man, I want to draw my boy Cyclops, so I did. But I didn't do any ink line. I just did pencil line, and then like went straight to color. I think it turned out pretty decent for the skill that I had at the time. This was I did this like in the same session because I was watching football, so I was just drawing all the things that I liked that I had seen recently. I watch Hunter x Hunter pretty much every year. It's my favorite manga, favorite series of all time. So I was drawing Kurapika, but I did a terrible job, and I was using the brush pen, so I just wanted to like free flow it. The perspective or like the dynamics of it is cool, but everything else is really bad. And here's a freestyle Marilyn. Just no line, just literally just ink to paper. And, for the skill that I had at the time, I think it's pretty decent. Then I hated this Kurapika so much that I redid it, and I like that one much more. I draw Kurapika all the time. He's my favorite. I love Kurapika so much. And then this was the last page of the sketchbook. It was just like, let your mind wander. And I thought that the character that I created for Wonder Garden was like a great example of like this place of like infinite imagination. And I feel like that's what a sketchbook's for. So although the sketchbook doesn't have like my greatest drawings or anything like that, or like just a fantastic exploration of my art, I still look at my sketchbooks and I say I can come up with anything I want in these things. And so that's what this end page kind of reminds me of. It's this girl with a fairy by her side looking at all the creatures in the garden. And she's going to enter it because she wants to be in that world. And then a nice little message thanking the Lord for my gift. And I am still thankful. And even in this world where AI is taking over, and you know, social media just sucks, and it just feels like being an artist is like the dumbest thing you could do at this time. For some reason, us artists continue to still do it, right? And there's got to be a reason for that. And you know, for me, I think it's, for one, I know that art can touch people, and I know that the things that I have to say and the stories that I have to say are gonna mean something to somebody. So it's my duty to do that, and then I was given this gift by the Lord, so I want to serve Him right in that way. So that's what that's for. And, you know, I try to continuously remind myself of that, even when the days look extremely bleak, which they can be. And then here's like a page where I just put like some stuff. I saw The Boy and the Heron with a friend of mine who we are no longer friends, unfortunately, but that's how life goes, especially when you're 20. For any 20-year-old who doesn't have any friends anymore, I understand. Life is weird. You just, especially if you're trying to improve yourself or get better, you just you just lose those friends, and then but eventually new ones come in, and you know, life is like that. But yeah, I went and saw that with them. Great movie. Got a shirt for Christmas, and I just pasted in there. And then I had like some, I don't remember which, I think maybe it's Gucci Guilty. I don't remember, but I had a sample of Gucci Guilty, and I pasted in there. And then I ended the drawing or the sketchbook with this. And it says astronaut floating over space, or floating over Earth, looking pretty excited. And I thought that was a great way to bookend the entire sketchbook. So yeah, no, it wasn't the most impressive drawings of all time, but I needed a video to start the channel and to welcome myself and to just get myself in the flow of making videos and not being awkward. So thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I'll be back with another sketchbook tour eventually, and more videos where I'm just rambling, talking about stuff that I like. There's a lot of things going on in the art world and just the world in general that I want to talk about, and I don't have a lot of friends to talk about them with, so I'll just rant to the internet. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. If you want to see the rest of my art and more, and just, you know, communicate with me, check out the socials in the description, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.